journey. Welcome, everybody. I am so grateful to be here with you that I get to do Jerry's Facebook Live. It's showing that I'm Dr. Jeff McNary, but I don't know. Oh, edit name. I can edit the name here. That sounds like a good idea. Let's do that. Hey, that's me. Woohoo! Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful that you all are here. And I am... I'm super grateful. I'm just going to text Jen Sedini. Hey, welcome. I'm broadcasting live from Venice, California. Thank you all so much for joining us. I'm here. I flew up from Costa Rica yesterday. Jerry is flying off to another destination doing all the good work that he's doing. And so I got the great privilege of doing this this Facebook Live, and I'm so excited to share with you what's going on. So first of all, wow, do we have an amazing week at Rythmia this week. We have over 70, 80 guests, so we're back up to almost being sold out. So you guys come and join us. Amazing mergers are happening every week. It's such a beautiful thing. And what I want to talk to you about today is that very thing about this merger. What is this merger? What are we talking about? At Rythmia, we talk about 3 intentions that we set. The first intention is show me who I've become. The second intention is merge me with my soul at all costs. And the third intention is heal my heart, forgive the unforgivable. These 4 intentions are so powerful. Whether you're on the medicine or not, they're key to an awakening of consciousness. They're key to seeing what is happening by design to all of us, no matter what. So I want to talk today specifically about show me who I've become and the power of this intention. So the first thing I want to share with you is show me who I've become has nothing to do with what happened. Well, it does, sort of. Let me get you clued into this. So something happens to all of us, no matter what. It doesn't matter how big or small it was. And the principle here is that trauma is not what happened to us. Trauma is the story that we make up, the story we tell ourselves about what happened. That's trauma. That's why it doesn't matter if I didn't get held on time, or I didn't get to play Monopoly with my brothers and sisters, or if I was abused by an alcoholic father or had an absent drug addicted parent. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, big or small. Trauma is not what happened to us. Trauma is the story that we tell ourselves about what happened. That's the first key to seeing who I've become and why it doesn't matter how big or small the trauma was. Because some people be like, oh, I had a great childhood and my parents loved me and there was nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. But it happens to everybody by design. Because we tell ourselves a story. I didn't get to play Monopoly with my brothers and sisters when I wanted. They were a lot older than me, right? I was the youngest of a large family. And so something simple, I wasn't abused. It wasn't big trauma for me, but I didn't get to play Monopoly. I didn't get to go out with the older brothers and sisters, right? And so what story did I tell myself? I don't belong. That's the story. This is the story of show me who I've become. So something happens. I didn't get held on time. I didn't get to play Monopoly with my brothers and sisters. My parents got divorced. Whatever it is for you. My older brother told me that I was ugly. Whatever it is, something happens and we tell ourselves a story. So first point, trauma isn't what happened. Trauma is the story we told ourselves what happened. Now, who I've become. A lot of people at Rythmia, when I'm talking to them about this, they'll say, so because of this trauma that I experienced, who I became was sorrowful or lonely or brokenhearted. No. Who we become is the coping mechanism that we use in order to not feel lonely or brokenhearted or that I don't belong. That's who we've become. So I had a client the other day. I was working with her on this. She was a really sort of hellion child, right? Lots of energy. She was just a kid, but had all of this energy, and she would beat up her brothers and sisters and just uncontrolled emotion and energy. Her parents didn't know how to deal with it, and they told her that she was tearing apart the family. She internalized that. And in order to not be the one who tears apart the family, who did she become? She became this beautiful, caring, gracious, generous, loving person who kind of overextends herself to I'm sure all of us can relate to this. When you start doing things for people, and then when you agree to do it, and you're like, why the hell did I say yes to that? Right? It actually is screwing you over, but you're doing it for somebody else. That you're helping people to your detriment, right? That's who she became. Really kind, really compassionate, really caring, life of the party. Everyone loves her. But it was underwritten by, if I'm not all those things, then I'm going to tear things apart. That's some story that we told. So show me who I've become isn't about what happened. It's about the story that we tell ourselves what happened, and who we've become is the coping mechanisms that we use in order to not feel the feelings that we had. In my case, I'll share with you to be really vulnerable here, right? I was much younger than my brothers and sisters, my family. I had different political views, different, sexual orientation, the whole thing. I just said, I don't belong. I felt like I didn't belong. It's not true, but that's the way I felt. That's the story I told myself. So who did I need to become in order to not feel like I don't belong? I needed to become me, right? Funny and over the top and really joking and the life of the party and the class clown and all of the things that I needed to do to feel like I belong. Now, I don't have to change that once I see, this happened. I told myself this lie, I don't belong. Who I became was the coping mechanisms that I had to use to not feel like I don't belong. So I became the class clown, the life of the party, the funny guy, the over the top kind of guy, right? All good qualities that I don't have to give up. But in seeing that, now ultimately I don't have to be those things in order to get approval, because who I needed to be in order to not feel like I didn't belong was the extrovert. And how did I know if I belonged? By your approval. How did I know if I belonged? If you were laughing. How did I know if I belonged? If you told me so. You're great. We love you. Oh, how cool. Great. And I just became an approval junkie, right? Give me some more approval. Do you like me? Do you like me? Do you like me? Right? So I don't have to change being me, but I'm no longer attached to being that person, being whatever you need me to be in order to get your approval, to secure my sense of belonging. So this is such a key piece for life. This is what I love about Rythmia. What great teachings. They don't matter whether you're doing medicine or not. I mean, obviously, come down and do the medicine because it quickens, it shortens the path, right? It shortens it, and you get 10 years of therapy and 20 years of meditation in a week. You release 30 years of trauma in a week. That's the beauty. That's the joy. But the first key is show me who I've become. Show me who I've become. And I'm just going to recap because we got a lot of new people logging in, and I missed the chat. Oops. Hey, everybody. Great to see you all. Thank you for joining this little light. Great to see you. Rick Everett. Sup, Rick? Amy, Marion, Nikki. Thank you all so much. So I'm going to recap. We've been talking about the first principle at Rythmia, show me who I've become. The mechanism of show me who I've become is that there's a trauma that happens to everybody, and it's by design. Why is it by design? It doesn't matter it doesn't matter what happened, because trauma isn't what happened. Trauma is the story I tell myself about what happened, right? So it doesn't matter whether as I said earlier, I didn't get to play Monopoly with my brothers and sisters, or I didn't get fed on time, or I didn't get held on time, or I didn't get my way, whatever it was. Or on the other end of the spectrum, I was abused, or my father was a drug addict, or I was physically, mentally, sexually abused. Anything along that spectrum causes the same thing. It doesn't matter what happened. And that's not to diminish the heavy trauma that a lot of people feel, right? No, it's just to say that for the other people who don't who say, oh, my life's been pretty good. My parents loved me. I had a great home. I didn't want for anything. That was my experience, right? 2 parents, both present. My dad never missed a soccer game, never missed a swim team, took me to the appointments, wanted the best for me. I didn't have a perfect childhood, but it wasn't traumatic like a lot of people that come to Rythmia who had abusive parents or addicted parents or absent parents or grew up in poverty or, overcame some really serious obstacles to get where they are in life. Anything along that spectrum, Trauma isn't what happened. It's the story that we tell ourselves about what happened. So again, the example, I didn't get to play Monopoly with my brothers and sisters. Not a big trauma, right? But the story I told myself, I don't belong. And so the next function of show me who I've become is, it's not, a lot of times I'll talk to people at Rythmia and they're like, this happened and I became a heartbreak. I became lonely. I became sorrowful. I became depressed. That's who I've become. No, who you've become are the coping mechanisms that you need in order to not feel lonely, not feel depressed, not feel like you don't belong. So in my case, something happened. I didn't get to play Monopoly. I said, I don't belong. How do I overcome the feeling of not belonging? By becoming a class clown, by becoming an extrovert, by becoming whatever you need me to be in order to secure my sense of belonging. It outpictured as a really fun, gregarious individual. I don't have to change that. But I saw the lie. The lie is, I don't belong. That's not true. That's not true. If your lie is I'm ugly, it's not true. If your lie is I'm guilty, that's not true. If your lie is I'm not worthy, it's not true. None of it's true. But we tell ourselves that story, and then in order to not feel the feelings of unworthiness, in order to not feel ugly, in order to not feel stupid, in order to not feel guilty, what do I got to do? What do I got to do in order to not feel that? That's who I've become. That's the mechanism. And so once you see that, that's the act of merging with your soul. Hey, Rick says, I had a bad relapse 4 days ago and I was talking about coming over and boom, you arrived. Hey, brother, listen, thank you for sharing that. And let me tell you this, no guilt, no shame. Guilt and don't waste no time in recrimination, right? Look, we all go through these cycles. And the worst thing is when we get in those cycles is the guilt and shame. It's the guilt and shame that drive this repetitive pattern. So here's the thing. We go, oh, well, if I can't release myself from guilt because I had this relapse. Brother Rick, let me tell you, and this is for all of us, no matter what we're dealing with, condemnation never liberates. Judgment, opinion, and condemnation never liberate. Only acceptance sets us free. And that means accepting every part of us. The parts we don't like, the parts we want to cut out, all of that not liking, cutting out, getting rid of, got to change this, I'm not good, fuck, I had a relapse, fuck, I did something. All of that stuff, that's what keeps those habitual patterns in place. Self-acceptance. There's not one part of you, Brother Rick, that doesn't deserve to be loved and appreciated. There's not one part of any of us that doesn't deserve to be loved and appreciated fully. The procrastinator, the overeater, the not exercising person, all of it. The more we condemn ourselves for these actions, the more we're entrenching these repetitive emotions, these repetitive patterns. We're keeping them in place. They get locked in place through guilt and shame. So the only way out is full self-acceptance. Every part of you. Here's a little teaching that Pema Chodron does that I really love. That's helped. I know, man. Rick's like, tell that to the missus. Yeah, well, we gotta face the piper, right? Like there is that. Like, hey, I have to acknowledge what I did. It doesn't let us off the hook, right? But we have to also accept ourselves and accept the consequences of what we did, right? There are consequences in life. I have to I have to accept the consequences of what I did all the time, brother. This little light says that damn hamster wheel, right? It's a freaking hamster wheel. Circle, keeping those same habitual patterns locked in place. So here's the key. Here's the only way to break those habitual patterns. Acceptance. We teach it at Rythmia all the time. Can you accept what's going on in ceremony? People say, I didn't feel anything. I didn't see. This person's seeing patterns and I didn't see patterns, and the medicine isn't working for me. And can you accept that? Can you accept just what's so? Can you open up gently to whatever you're experiencing without opinion and judgment? That's acceptance. And it is in opening up to what's happening right now, opening up to what's happening in your life right now, this minute, fully accepting it. Now, here's the thing. We think that accepting the present moment is consenting to our current condition. So Rick says, if I accept that I had a relapse, that means I'm consenting to say it's okay. No. Acceptance means that I am seeing that part of me and loving it. So the teaching from Pema Chodron that I really love is, she says, Buddha wasn't some guy who lived 2,500 years ago and is smarter than you and I will ever be. And Christ isn't Jesus's last name. Buddha and Christ mean awakened consciousness. And what is awakened consciousness? But our awareness. So we're bringing our awareness, fully aware of whatever is happening in the present moment. And it is through that acceptance that those old patterns begin to unwind. Because if I am not accepting who I am and what is occurring in the present moment, even the guilt, man, even the guilt that I might feel from having a relapse, right? I got to accept it because it's trying to get out of that guilt that keeps those patterns in place. So Pema Chodron says, you just name it Buddha. Whatever I'm feeling. If I'm angry, that's angry Buddha. If I'm relapsed, that's relapsed Buddha. If I just ate too much and I have heartburn, that's Buddha with indigestion, right? It doesn't matter what you're experiencing. Name it Buddha because it means awakened consciousness. I'm just bringing my awareness to it. When I bring my awareness to it without judgment and opinion, I'm accepting myself. And when I can accept what's so, then I begin to unravel those habitual patterns. We got to have faith. We got to have faith. A little George Michael for you. Why do we have to have faith? Faith is the evidence of things unseen. There's a great story in the Bible when a man was standing next to Jesus. And you can you imagine standing next to Jesus? The energy, think about being next to one of the cool shaman at Rythmia. You can feel that beautiful energy. Now, magnify that, right? Imagine standing next to the Dalai Lama. Imagine standing next to some really holy, beautiful person. You feel their energy, right? So there's this guy in the Bible. He's standing next to Jesus. This little light, thank you. Yes, prayers for Rick, brother. We're going to say a prayer for you before we go. So stay tuned, brother Rick. There's a guy standing next to Jesus, and he exclaims, I believe, right? I believe. And then the next thing he goes, heal thou my disbelief. I believe, heal thou my disbelief. I love this story because it shows that we can catch these moments of insight, these moments of awareness. And Claudia says, don't sing. I can sing it. I just can't play the music that the artist sang, right, Claudia? Okay, so we have these moments of insight, and we get a breakthrough, and then our old patterns of unbelief, our old patterns of fear, doubt, worry, not enoughness come right back, right? That's what that story tells me. So, brother Rick, something happened. You get an insight. Oh, I believe. And then the old patterns come back. The only way is faith. The only way to unwind those habitual patterns is full self-acceptance. Surrender. We got to surrender. We got to surrender to What's so? We got to surrender to this present moment. I got to surrender to, if I'm feeling guilt, okay, that's guilty Buddha. If I'm feeling sad, that's sad Buddha. If I'm feeling happy, that's happy Buddha. Whatever it is, let me feel it. Let me feel it, because those feelings, those emotions are trying to tell us something. They're trying to get our attention, to show us that the old coping mechanisms aren't working. And the only way out is to embrace ourselves. It's the only way. We have to embrace ourselves fully. You deserve to be loved, Brother Rick. Each one deserves to be loved and appreciated. Every part of you, even the addicted part of you. Don't cut it out. Love it in. Love it in. Full acceptance. I'm going to sit with this guilt. I'm guilty Buddha. I'm just going to sit. I'm not going to try and get out of it, because if I try and get out of it, it reinforces the old patterns. I'm just going to be present to it. I'm just going to be present to it. We're going to start to see who I've become. It's going to start to see something happened. Something happened. I told myself a story. Sometime between the ages of 0 and 6, something happened. I told myself a story. Okay. I want to say a prayer for everyone. And we're going to all hold Brother Rick in prayer right now. All right. So just join me. This is not your grandfather's prayer. This isn't that old, oh God, you're so big and I'm so terribly small. No, this is an affirmative mind treatment. And we start in gratitude. So close your eyes, turn away from the world of effects, and join me in being grateful for this life, every part of it. Everything that fits my picture and everything that doesn't. For all of it is seeking to wake us up. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for this place called Rythmia, where we get to awaken to the truth of our being. I'm grateful for every one of the challenges, every one of the blessings, every one of the lessons. I'm grateful for it all, because everything is working together for our good. As Reverend Michael says, we're either pushed by pain or pulled by a vision. So trust me, Brother Rick, if you're being pushed by pain right now, it's okay. It's pushing you to awaken. It's pushing you to realize that the old patterns aren't working, and to wake up, to embrace these parts of ourselves. I'm so grateful for the teachers that have brought us from darkness into light. All the great sages, all the great minds, all the great consciousness, all those people we know and the ones we don't, those people meditating, those people praying, those people working in the streets, those people helping one another. I'm grateful for them all. I'm grateful that right now, every single one of us can say, my needs are met. Right now, right this moment, my needs are met. Not 10 minutes from now. I might not be able to pay my rent next week, but right now, my needs are met. Right this second, I'm sitting in a chair listening to some guy talk on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. So I'm okay. My needs are met right this second. Right this second. I'm okay. All my needs are met right now. I'm well. Feel that, generate that. I'm okay. I'm okay. Right now, all my needs are met. And then we step into a recognition of God, a recognition of this presence. This presence, you can call it God, you can call it the universe, you can call it whatever you want. It has a million names, none of which can approximate something that is too big for words, but it looks something like joy and beauty and excellence and creativity and abundance and love and wholeness and harmony and order and balance. That's the nature of God. That's the nature of the divine. It does not see inequity. It doesn't look and judge. It can't. It only loves. And it's loving each one of us right now. So I'm recognizing God. Thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, beauty. Thank you, divine intelligence. And I know that I am one with it. I can't be separate from that which created me. I contain all the qualities and quantities of that from which I was created. So love and beauty and joy and intelligence and wisdom and harmony and excellence and balance and all of it, I have it. And so do you. You can't be separate from it either. We're inseparable, undivided from the source of all of life. Life is living us right now. So I'm living life. Rick is living life. Life is living us. Life is living through us. So I'm one with life. Therefore, I'm one with God. I can't be separate from this realization of oneness. I can declare that everything is working together for our good. Every bit of it. Everything always works out for us. Everything always works out for us. Look at your lives and see. You've gone through some hard times, but it's always worked out in the end. Otherwise, you wouldn't be standing here right now listening to me. Woo! So we're standing in this awareness from oneness with God. Nothing can be against us. Everything is working together for our good. We are open and available to more good, more love, more life, more beauty, more abundance, more harmony, more peace than we have ever experienced before. It's all happening now. We open to receive. Have we been holding our cups upside down? For even the abundance and love and beauty of God requires our acceptance. So right now, we turn our bowl of acceptance right side up. And prove me now, said the Lord of hosts, that I shall not open up the heavens and pour down a blessing upon you too great to be contained. This is the blessing that we're pouring down on Brother Rick. Love and beauty. You are loved and adored by a presence that sees only your magnificence. Know that everything is working, that there's healing taking place, that everything that is occurring for your good, to wake up to the fact that there's only one thing happening: love and beauty and divine intelligence. You are loved, my brother Rick, loved by an infinite love, so profound that there's no outside of it. We are all, each one of us is loved by this. Each one of us are guided by an infinite intelligence that is all omniscient, omnipresent, omniactive. This is the nature of God. We are guided by this infinite intelligence, and we are sourced by an infinite power, a power that knows no exhaustion and no limit. So I'm knowing that each one in the sound of my voice is loved by this presence, is guided by this intelligence, that our steps are guided, that everything is working together. The path is laid with immediacy. And this presence, when we open our cup of acceptance, our bowl of acceptance, when we open it to receive the bounty from heaven, then the path is made easy. The crooked ways are made straight, and the bumpy ways are made smooth. So we're just holding Rick in love. The light of God surrounds you. The love of God enfolds you. The power of God protects you and goes before each one, making the way smooth and immediate. So join me now in being thankful. Let this gratitude rise up from within us. As we rise up with gratitude, we know that all is well, that everything's going to work out for us. It's going to be okay. Right now, I'm okay. All is well. Feel that, and let's generate a feeling tone together that all is well. All is well. All is well. I'm so grateful to speak this word. I'm so grateful for the feeling that we're generating for each one of you. And I release this word into the law, the lawful universe. And I know that it will not return unto us void, that it shall accomplish the task at which we set it out to do. And so I say, thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, beauty. I rejoice in the fulfillment of this word. I give thanks in its completion. And I say, and so it is. And so it be. All right. Love you. Love you all. Thank you so much. And we'll see you soon. Happy day. Thank you.